melted glass.
Woo! Welcome to Death Curse Society, ladies and gentlemen. It is the end of the year. We are sending 2020 out with a bang? I don't know. I'm Redcranke, I got the Colonel, and I got Zigzag.
Woo!
Hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas and are getting ready to celebrate a very safe and happy New Year. We can't wait to get into 2021, but to do that, we got to say goodbye to 2020 and talk about all the good stuff that we found in 2020. Later on, we're going to talk about our best of TV, horror, of course. We're going to rank a few shows that we liked on television this year. We're going to talk about our favorite fan films that came out this year, maybe. We're going to talk about our favorite horror collectibles that were released, and we're going to talk about our favorite horror conventions.
What's that? Convention?
Do you remember those when we used to be able to go and meet people?
It was fun. It was like a mass gathering of people. You know, everybody got to hang out, get real close, face to face. The good old days.
Yeah, this is as close as I've been to people in a while. So, and I'm okay with that because generally I don't like people.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to go ahead and take a couple of steps to the left there, please. There you go.
My left or your left?
Well, you know, hey, get the other way. There you go.
Jesus.
All right.
Is that good?
Thank you. That's better.
Before we get into any of that good stuff, though, don't forget to hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on social media. And, man, fuck 2020 and this pandemic. Let's go camping.
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't you? You'll never come back again. It's got a death curse.
For Let's Go Camping today, we're going to be talking about our top 7 horror movies of 2020. Now, why did we choose 7? Well, a lot of people are doing 5, a lot of people are doing 10. We figured 7 was a good number because it's a lucky number. And god damn it, we could all use some luck going into 2021 after this shit year. So, Colonel, top 7 of 2020. Lay it on us, homie.
I can't wait to lay it on you motherfuckers. Because guess what? To do my research to get my top 7 of 2020, I literally wrote down all the films I remembered. Then I did research of all the other films. And boy, this 7 was kind of hard to get, let's be honest. It was not the best year for horror. And granted, there's a lot I didn't see, but I think I saw enough to give an honest top 7. So coming in at number 7, a Shudder exclusive by the name of Scare Package. I'm a sucker for anthology films. It's not the best anthology film I've ever seen. I appreciate the humor. If there was more movies, this motherfucker wouldn't have made the list. I'll be completely honest with you. That's how I feel about most of these movies. Like I said, good anthology film. I appreciate the premise of it. You know, you got these guys working at this video store and, did you ever rent this movie? And then you get like your little story based on that, and so on and so forth. That's all the love that movie needs. Coming in at number 6, Color Out of Space. I thought this was a pretty good film. I recently rewatched it again for this, and my love for it did go down significantly. So it also significantly went down the list at number 6, but still worthy of a spot. Number 5, Antebellum. This movie really stuck with me. Well, I wouldn't say it's the greatest movie. It stuck with me. It did its job. It sent its message. I'm still thinking about it. Let's go to number 4 on the list, VFW. Technically not a horror movie. It's debatable. Fuck you, whatever. It's a horror movie. They're a fucking bunch of junkies trying to get their fix. All right, they're practically fucking zombies. It was a nice little love letter to John Carpenter, even though at times it was a bit too dark to see. But I did appreciate the horror, and thank you, Fangoria. Here we go. Got the big hitters now. Coming at number 3, Peninsula.
Really?
It just wasn't as good as Train to Busan, but still a great movie. But overall, still a great zombie flick. I hate running zombies, but they're Korean. I'll overlook it because the story's that fucking good. And there was a little bit of rip-off of Land of the Dead. Coming in at number 2, another Shudder exclusive, Host. I hate found footage, guys. I really do. But fuck, this movie was perfect for 2020. Fucking perfect. It summed it up great. The runtime was great. My only complaint was, if they're doing free Zoom, that meeting should have ended 15 minutes earlier than what it did.
You're being really, really particular about that, aren't you? You talked about this in the review.
I did. That's the only thing that really fucking bugs me about it. Who the fuck's playing for premium? Obviously they didn't because it started counting down. Like, your meeting's about to end. Whatever. But still, that's the perfect movie for 2020. But I still can't put it at number 1 because number 1, The Invisible Man.
Really?
Really. I
Damn.
fucking love this movie. I mean, you felt for it, there's, especially this year, because unfortunately, the reality of the situation is there's people stuck in households with abusive people right now as we're filming this. And, this is a story of the girl was able to escape that and fight off her demons. That abusive prick got what he fucking deserved at the end of it. It was a great ending.
I will have to admit, I'm shocked Invisible Man is the top one of your list, but that's good. That's a good list.
Colonel, if it were Monday, I'd give you the golf clap.
Thank you.
Golf clap? Golf clap.
All right, so Ziggy, what do you think? You think you can top that? That's Colonel's list. It's your turn now.
Let me apply the spectacles so I can see said list. Oh, hey guys, how you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
2020, it was kind of crazy. I sit there thinking at first, like, shit, do I have 7? Is there 7 even here that are worth talking about? I went over what we'd seen and the whole thing we did, the whole backlogs, and oh yeah, we got this crushed.
Yeah.
And I got a list here. I don't know if I'm so happy with it, but I mean, for what it is and what we had to go through to see these movies, these are the ones I saw, and I know there's many here that I did not see, and that kind of changes things a little bit. So, I mean, but hey, I'm going to go with it anyway. I'm going to give it a shot. This is what I saw for 2020. Number 7 is Freaky. Vince Vaughn's take on the Freaky Friday take. It was fun, but not so much a horror movie, but just enough. Just enough. Number 6, The Invisible Man. If the Universal monsters are going to have any chance at being revived in a modern sense, this is the blueprint to follow. This movie was cool. It's tense, it's scary at times, and it's very slick. Very slick. And I dug it a lot. I thought that it has a chance. It's not dead yet. The Universal monster universe is still there. Keep it dark. That's the way to go. You've been shown the way. Number 5, Antebellum. This is just a great story. The telling is good, and I'm sure you've seen it by now. I mean, this thing is out there. Pretty good twist, but I mean, it does. It, like Colonel said, it sticks with you.
Yeah.
You're not getting, this isn't a forgettable movie. Number 4.
For real, B? Marijuana affects the memory.
Oh, there it is. Number 4, The Babysitter, Killer Queen.
Really?
Again, this is for 2020. I enjoyed the over-the-top gore probably most of all in a lot of these films. That, to me, made it fun, and I laughed out loud every time they did something outrageous, and they did raise the bar. Story-wise, yeah, not very good, but, I mean, this is 2020, and that's what you get. Go for the gore, enjoy it, embrace it. I mean, I'd like to see more big-time directors making slashers. All right, there we go. Number 3, Peninsula. It's not as good as Train to Busan. Colonel stole all the thunder on this already. But it's a great ride. You still get the crazy zombies. Just think of a Resident Evil video game. You'll be fine, and you'll do great. Number 2, VFW.
Damn.
Yes, I know what you're saying. It is. It's a love letter to Assault on Precinct 13 and a couple other films a little bit. But it was great seeing some of those characters again coming back and getting together, kicking some ass. And you know what? It's super violent. It's almost Grindhouse in a way. Very dark, yes. It's the only thing lacking. If they lit this fucking set when they shot this movie, yeah, I understand. They wanted to go this way to make it kind of give it that comic book creep show feel. It's still fun. VFW, totally worth the money to check it out. Number 1, I hadn't seen this at the time we reviewed it, but once I did, holy shit, I was creeped out. Host, man. It's an hour long. It's great, though. This is the scariest thing that came out this year, in my opinion. You saw it. I mean, it takes some application, a very cool and clean look at this shit we're doing right here with cameras.
Right.
And it's fucking very effective and scary. I loved it. It's worthy of the number 1 spot. Not a full feature, yes, but sometimes that matters. Host, number 1 on this list.
Yeah, the couple of curveballs in there. I'll be honest, I'm kind of surprised Invisible Man is so far down on the list for you when it was Colonel's number 1.
I hesitate in calling it a horror film almost.
There's sci-fi horror.
Yes, I know. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just me. And believe me, there's a throat cutting or two that are pretty cool. I never considered the Invisible Man a horror character, even though he got in there and interacted at times. It's on the list, man. Just let it go. Let it go.
I'm just asking. I'm not complaining about your list. I like your list. I was just, pointing that out, the differences.
As far as a main studio movie, fantastic. It does have fucking scary moments in it. I don't know. I just never looked at it as a horror movie like The Invisible Man, the character itself.
Well,
this one has a lot of twists too, so.
Either way, good list, good list.
Golf clap? Golf clap.
My list is going to start off with a couple of movies that neither one of these gentlemen have included. Similar to the way that Zigzag and even the Colonel did their list, I went back through all of our old shows. I saw what we reviewed over the year 2020. I went through and got all the rankings that we had given these movies and boiled it down to that list first, and then kind of sorted them around a little bit. So my number 7, man, I know I'm the only one that really liked this movie that much, but You Should Have Left with Kevin Bacon. I'm a sucker for the haunted house movies. I can't help it. Anything with Kevin Bacon is something I'm more than likely going to watch. So go fuck yourself.
That was number 8 for me.
Oh, no. You don't get to pull your Monday Maniacs bullshit number 8 on me. No.
Nope.
I'm striking that from the record. But no, I just enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty clever. Director and writer David Koepp, I've always enjoyed. Number 6 is a Shudder exclusive for me, but it's one that these guys didn't mention yet. Anything for Jackson. Yes, we just reviewed it not even a month ago, I don't think. But this movie starts out in such a weird way. Like I mentioned in our review, it starts out like a regular scene that we've seen a million times, and you know what's going to happen. And then bullshit you do. No, they flip that shit over on you. And you're like, wait, that was not what I was expecting. And then it lays out the entire rest of the movie is like that. I really dug it. Number 5, the rest of these guys have already mentioned, it seems like, so shouldn't be many surprises left on my list. But number 5, VFW. These guys already said it. Love letter to John Carpenter, blah, 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 blah. Fun seeing these actors get together. Fun seeing an older set of actors kick ass. Most of the time you don't see that. You may see one older character that's just like the grizzled vet that's like, I got this. And this time you had like 6 of them, or however many are in that VFW, And the young kid is the one that's just kind of like, I don't know what to do. And they're like, we got this, boy. Come along. Ziggy, you seem like you have something to say.
That villain was the wrong choice of villain, as said in our review. We, reviewing that movie again, it was like, oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah,
his sidekick would have been a better villain. She was worse than he was. She was badass.
And that's one of the actresses from Friday Night Lights, if you guys don't remember. Yeah, the villain, not the greatest. Definitely probably the weak point of that film. But still, fun, just over the top, goofy, and definitely gory. Why the hell not? VFW, number 5 for me. Number 4, now we get to the glossy, very stylized Invisible Man. Yes, I enjoyed this movie. I think really the only major studio film on my list. No, there's one more.
Fantasy Island, we know.
Oh, yeah. Number 1. Invisible Man, again, like Ziggy said, I'm hoping this helps open the door a little bit more to the Universal Monsters coming back and a reboot of all of these characters. Invisible Man was fun. Number 3, these next 3 could have been in any order for me almost. It's just a toss-up, but number 3 for me is Host. As Colonel said, this is probably the perfect movie for 2020. It encapsulates, without really saying anything about why they have to do these host meetings. They don't really go into many details about it, which I kind of like, but it still had that remembrance. I mean, people are going to watch this 20, 30 years down the road and be like, why are they all stuck at home? And then the grandparents are going to come out and be like, let me tell you a story, kids. And you'll hear all about 2020. I mean, it just encapsulates everything that we've been going through and then throws a horror vibe into it. And it was just great. Well executed, well acted. And kudos to any fucking director that can shoot a movie using Zoom, using this during a pandemic and make it work and then find success with it. So, damn right. Kudos to you. Number 2 for me is Antebellum. as they've both said, this movie just sticks with you. I loved the story. I think the story, again, fits the current times, even though it doesn't. You have to watch the movie to figure out the twist. But the twist is so imaginative and kind of so far out there that you wouldn't think it could be done. But then you drive through some of these southern states like Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, and you see these wide expanses of just nothing and woods. You may see like a little cabin out in the woods somewhere, and you're like, they could hide some shit back there, and you would never know. That alone is the scary factor of Antebellum. And then the way it's acted is just fucking beautiful. The way it's shot is beautiful. I still love that opening tracking shot. Just a great, great film. If you have not seen this, check it out. It's a thinker. It's also one that you can watch with some friends and it'll open up a whole conversation because it's a conversation piece. And then number one for me, yes, Train to Busan presents Peninsula. Just a fun movie. No, not as good as the first one, like these guys have both said. It was the only movie out of the year of ones that we reviewed that I gave a 9 out of a 10. Naturally, it had to be number one on my list. You guys have already talked about it so much. I don't want to necessarily say too much more about it. Peninsula, my number one.
Good list.
Golf clap? Golf clap.
Thank you. Thank you. So that brings us to the DCS, the overall, we'll just do a top 5 of 2020, the group rankings. Colonel, what's our number 5?
Coming in at number 5, The Invisible Man.
Number 4 on the DCS master list is VFW.
Number 3 for the DCS top 2020 horror films is Antebellum.
Coming in at number 2 on the top 5 DCS 2020 list is Train to Busan presents Peninsula.
The number 1 movie on the list for 2020 is Host, the Shudder exclusive. Check that baby out now.
Good list. I could recommend all 5 of these films to just about anybody, and I think if they're a horror fan at all, they'd enjoy the shit out of them.
Got a little bit of everything in there.
Oh, yeah, you do. You got your
you were surprised Fantasy Island didn't make our list, gentlemen. It's such a great film.
Oh, God.
I don't know how we left it out.
How long has it been since we fired him?
I know it, man.
But dude, it's 2020, man. You can't fire me this year. Fuck. At least wait till I get my $2,000 stimulus check that I'm never going to get.
You think you're going to get $2,000? Good luck. Yeah, that's fine.
I'll get $250, maybe 85 cents. $250, 85 cents.
Good luck with that. Well, that's going to wrap it up for Let's Go Camping. Hope you guys enjoy the list. You give us your top 5 list. Let us know what you like this year, or give us your top 7 list. Because like I said, we all need a little luck going into the next year. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. Stick around.
I'm going to go now.
You've got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
The Death Curse Society has just become an associate producer on the film.
Yes.
Bravo. Bravo. Death Curse Society, guys, is so awesome. I met the guys, all 3 of the guys, at Indianapolis last year for Horror Hound. And I met those dudes, and I gotta tell you, like, I hung out with them. We took pictures. I signed some stuff. They gave me a T-shirt. It was awesome. They are awesome guys. So super cool. I am so glad to have them on board this campaign, and also on board the film. And now they are going to be IMDb credited as producers on this movie.
Hi, this is Heather Langenkamp, and you're watching Death Curse Society. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Woo! Welcome back, folks. Thanks for sticking around with us. We got a lot to cover. You wouldn't think we would have a lot to cover about 2020, but we do. It's time for some stories around the campfire.
I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason.
Hey, come back!
First off, on Stories Around the Campfire, we're going to talk about our favorite horror TV shows that we saw this year. Colonel, get us started on the 2020 list.
So 2020, our top 7 TV shows. This was difficult because there's quite a few that came out this year that I did not like. The Haunting of Bly Manor, Sabrina, the 3rd or 4th season, wherever the fuck we're on that. No, usually Netflix can fuck off with their shit. I'll be honest with you. They're all bun, no hot dog. But so I might as well get started with my list. We go to number 7, Creep Show. Literally didn't make it on my list until right before we started recording. We did get an animated Halloween special and a Christmas special. I still haven't watched the Christmas special yet. But it's 2 episodes. Fuck it, it counts. It's 2020. Coming in at number 6, Netflix and BBC brought us Dracula. This is another late addition to my list because honestly, I really liked it. But fuck, New Year's Day of 2020, I honestly forgot about it. Number 5, Eli Roth's History of Horror Part 2. I can listen to these people talk horror all fucking day. Coming at number 4, at 2020, anything's fucking possible, Spengoli. Because I spent many a Saturday night during lockdown watching Spengoli, because what else are you going to watch when everything's shut down? Coming in at number 3, guess you can call this a series, Shudder's Cursed Films. While I did not learn anything new, and the first couple episodes were watchable at best, the last couple were pretty fucking good, especially the Twilight Zone episode. Number 2, everybody knows where I'm going with this one, another Shudder exclusive, The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. Yes, the main reason why I got Shudder to begin with. Even though I've heard things and I refuse to believe them about Joe Bob Briggs. I'm looking at you, Zach. Fuck you. It doesn't take away my enjoyment of the show.
We love Joe Bob.
Love Joe Bob.
And then coming in at number 1, probably my favorite TV show, period, past couple years, TV adaptation of What We Do in the Shadows. Season 2 blew season 1 away. I mean, fucking Jackie Daytona. Enough said. Enough fucking said.
Genius. Love that show, man. Ziggy, what about you? What do you got for top in horror on TV?
Oh my God. See, I don't really watch TV at all. I did for the show. Oh, hey guys.
Oh, hey. You're back.
I broke in, and for the show purposes, I do watch what I can. You know, I mean, my schedule's crazy. I did pick 5 for the show today, and let's just get right fucking to it. Actually, I got 6. Number 6, The Twilight Zone. Some of those classic stories get soiled a little bit, but man, it's all right. There's usually a point to it. It's a good series. It's a nice tribute to the Twilight Zone. It is a Twilight Zone in its sense, almost like an alternate universe, but you know. Number 6, right? Number 5, Eli Roth's History of Horror Part 2. I didn't know what they were going to add to it to make it a second season after that. I figured, fuck, they covered everything last season. But it was really good. I dug the witches. The body mutilations show was great. I don't know where they can go from here for a 3rd season, but let's hope. Let's hope, you know.
White New Balances.
Number 4, What We Do in the Shadows. It's great. It's funny. The writing's good on it. The one guy left the show as a writer, so I don't know if it's going to hold up as we continue. So we'll see. You know, we'll see if it's still there. Number 3, Joe Bob Briggs and The Last Drive-In. I've got no problem with Joe Bob Briggs. He just kind of had a problem with our video equipment. That's all I'm saying. That's all. The guy knows everything about everything with these fucking movies. If you didn't know any little fact, he's got it uncovered. So, I mean, that's worth it right there. You know, it's ridiculous.
Amount of knowledge.
And, you know, Darcy, not too bad either, right? Number 2, Creep Show. They did do the Halloween animated double feature and then this last one for Christmas. Unfortunately, I feel like it's going to be kind of hit or miss again season 2. I hope I am totally wrong, but that one, you know, if that's any indication of what we're going to get, then okay. You know, this is a different kind of Creep Show. I'll still love it. I'll still love it. You just got to work a little harder to love it. That's all. That's all. Number 1, it's been almost a year, but it came out, Dracula. I fucking loved this fucking series, man. I know a lot of people mocked the shit out of it. I thought it was very cool. I dug the way they told the story. I loved the sets about it. And I love the guy who played Dracula. I mean, dude, this was a good show. I hope they can come up and tell some more stories as they're planning to do, because I'm in. This was the best show on TV, in my opinion. Dracula. Check it out. It's cool, man. It's just a cool take on that character.
Very cool. I like that list too, man.
Yep, good list.
All right, so my top 7 going to include a lot of the same ones these guys have, but there are a couple of other mentions to be included. Number 7 for me is Creepshow from Shudder. They've already said everything. 2 episodes we got, basically. The Halloween special, the Christmas special. Cannot wait for more. Hopefully in 2021 we'll get a full season. We'll see. Number 6 for me, kind of a tie. Yeah, I'm cheating again. Prodigal Son on Fox and Ratchet on Netflix. Not a huge fan of network TV horror, but occasionally there's 1 or 2 that will sneak through and surprise you. Prodigal Son is one of those. Ratchet, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I enjoyed the film noir-esque style to it. I know they've got a couple more seasons coming, so I really hope they dive into this character and talk more about just how fucked up she really is. And who doesn't love Sarah Paulson? I just think she's fantastic. Pretty much everything she does. Number 5 for me, Eli Roth's History of Horror. How can you not love this show? If you already know even some of these stories or some of the tales they tell from behind the scenes of some of these movies, it's still great to go back, watch these people that love horror talk about horror. And almost every time after seeing an episode of that, I was drawn to go and watch one of the movies they talked about, like that week. That's what the show is for. Number 4 for me, The Twilight Zone. I really dug The Twilight Zone. They do get a little heavy on the social commentary sometimes, which I think Ziggy was alluding to. Even the old school Rod Serling hosted Twilight Zone had social commentary. It just wasn't shoved in your face as much as the Jordan Peele version tends to do sometimes. Number 3 is another network TV show that, man, kind of snuck up on me, but it's CBS Evil. If you guys don't know what the show's about, a group that investigates demon possessings and demonic hauntings of houses and things like that. Evil is the name of the show. Check it out. Let me know. Number 2 for me, a couple of vampire hits. Dracula definitely was excellent on Netflix. I had to pigeonhole What We Do in the Shadows in there too, just because I can't leave this show off my list. I look forward to that show every fucking time it's on. I cannot wait for season 3. I hope they are still able to deliver. We'll see. And number 1 for me, these guys hate it, but fuck it, I don't care. The Haunting of Bly Manor. I like Mike Flanagan. I think he's great. You guys know this. Look at Ziggy rolling his eyes like a smug prick that he is.
There's a reason there's not going to be a season 3, folks.
Well, no, he's just busy with other shit. I can't wait for Midnight Mass. I mean, that's the next one. And Midnight Mass was alluded to in Gerald's Game, if you know the story there. That's the next one for him and Netflix coming out. And I can't wait for that. Haunting of Bly Manor, man, it has so many emotional tugs to it. And it's more than just a horror movie. It's good fucking storytelling. That's my top 7. Next up for Stories Around the Campfire, we're going to talk a little bit about fan films. Now, honestly, you know what? Ziggy, I'm just going to let you handle this.
Here's the thing. We see so many entries and different, and a lot of them are decent and have qualities about them we like, but a lot of them are really, really bad. Sometimes we just don't get it. Some people go, that is the greatest movie I've seen. This should be canon. This should be part of the storyline. I'm not getting it on all of them, but we do have an entry. We have kind of one pick for 2020 for a fucking movie that represents all fan films. It's Never Hike in the Snow. This is the one. This is the only one that we stood up to and loved. Some of them are still out for review, and we're going to get back to you on, but that is the one and only one that I can honestly say I could endorse and not feel guilty about telling you to watch it.
Colonel, any additional thoughts on fan films? We know you love fan films.
You guys know I fucking hate fan films. I applaud people that make them, and this goes across any genre. I don't care. It could be All these Friday the 13th fan films, Halloween fan films, Star Wars fan films. I don't want to watch them. They're normally shit. Hey, kudos for you for making it, though. You're further ahead in making films than I ever thought to be, but I don't want to make films. I like to watch films. Never Hike in the Snow is the only one that's worth watching. The storyline's great. Yeah, we know the direction the series is going. It's going to be fucking awesome. I'm looking forward to it. It's pretty much the one flower in a field full of shit.
I'm going to throw a little curveball in here at you guys because my top 3 fan films for 2020, number 3 is actually Never Hike in the Snow. And man, Vincent did a great job, but number 2 for me, Never Hike in the Snow. And yeah, number 1 for me is Never Hike in the Snow. You know why? Because all the other fucking fan films fucking suck. That's it. That's it. You guys can watch these fan films and say they're the greatest thing since sliced bread or getting your dick sucked. I don't give a shit because you're wrong. You guys are high on something. I don't know what. And something more potent than what Ziggy is on right now. You guys follow the show. You know what came out this year. I don't even want to watch these anymore. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't mind watching them. I don't want to review them anymore. I may leave the reviews for the fan films to you guys anymore because I tend to say things that are a little rude.
No.
I literally called it Never Hike in the Snow, the one flower in a field full of shit.
Look, we kind of got a glimpse at what goes into making these things, like the nicer ones. That the problem is, like, people are trying to make features without actors. And that it's such a huge element of the ingredients to bring out all the flavor. This guy's got a passion and an eye for it and built a crew that on the shoestring budget they had delivered something that looks fucking beautiful. And that's why it sits where it sits on the 2020 list.
Vincent DeSanti's overall body of work really being top notch, even though he is an independent guy, his shit is... It looks good. It's cast well. It's written well. I mean, you can't go wrong with him. If I had money, if I was behind a studio, I'd be fucking hiring Vincent to do some shit for me in a heartbeat. If I had control of like the Shudder original money right now, let me throw that tag on some of his shit and put it out. I want some of his original stuff. If we were going to do like short films from this year, Pathosis, even though he didn't direct it, he was just a producer on it. But Pathosis would be probably one of the top ones that I saw. And him and his studio, Womp Stomp Films, released that. And that was what, 8 minutes? But it was great.
Couple of whole fuck moments in that thing.
Yeah. Some people just have the eye. Some people have an iPhone and they think they can make a goddamn movie all of a sudden. Next up on Stories Around the Campfire, let's talk a little bit about horror collectibles that came out over the last year. Colonel, what did you like this year that came out?
Well, without stealing anybody's thunder, I pretty much only have one item. Well, should be two, but I don't think I'm going to get it before this episode airs. Waxworks has been releasing and re-releasing the original Friday the 13th soundtracks. I have 1 through 7, 7 being the newest one I got. It looks beautiful. The artwork is beautiful. My biggest complaint, not a resealable sleeve like the other ones. Fingers crossed part 8 comes in with a resealable sleeve, please. Whew. But they are worth every penny, and they are not cheap. But then again, apparently vinyls aren't cheap anyway. Who knew?
They were back in the 70s.
Like $1 a piece.
Yeah. They were back in the 70s. I mean, I think you could get an album for like $8 back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like $30 now for a brand new fucking album. For the mainstream ones, like the Friday the 13th, they're 30 to 50.
50, yeah.
So I got a mini fortune with Friday the 13th vinyls.
It all started at Horror Hound.
It all did start at Horror Hound. Yeah, beautiful Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning.
What else did you like this year?
And another collectible that I really enjoyed this year, gave me a rager, you guess you would say. I was definitely pitching a tent when I first heard about this. From Shout Factory, the new Friday the 13th Blu-ray box set with all 12 films. And great new documentaries, great new commentaries. Never before seen kills from Friday the 13th Part 2 that we never thought we'd ever see.
Yeah.
And we got them. Oh, that tops it all. That's it.
Ziggy, what about you? What'd you find in the collectible world that you enjoy?
This year, there was really only one piece that stood out as collectible to me that I had to have, and I went for it, and I got one. I got lucky. But it's the Nano set of Halloween.
Cool.
This thing is absolutely ridiculous. They're just like those little army men miniatures, those little plastic army guys, but all your favorite Halloween characters. And then one big glow-in-the-dark Michael Myers, 4 inches tall. You know, Fright Rags put it out. There was just so many to get. A lot of people were pissed because apparently a bunch of bots bought all of them. But, hey, man, I'm just saying you're not fast enough. Got to have the quick gun on shit like this. When it comes out, be fucking ready. I had alarms fucking set. I had shit logged in. I was ready and prepared. Get your rewards.
Well, unfortunately, some of us ain't even knocking anybody. Some of us have to work first shift, and this shit goes on sale at 10 a.m. in the middle of my fucking work day. So I missed out on like 2 or 3 Joe Bob figures from fucking Fright Rags. I missed out on those. I don't even try anymore. So kudos to you. It's not a knock towards you. I'm glad you had the opportunity to get it. I'm proud and happy that you got it.
I got the Joe Bob too.
Yeah, fuck you, Zag.
You know what, Colonel? I actually tried to score one, and I went back in to go get one, and they were gone that fucking quick.
I believe it.
Better watch out, Ziggy. You keep taunting him like that, he's going to climb through the screen and get you again.
I'm hip. I mean, shit, man. It's I got to put this shit under lock and key. One final thing, speaking of vinyls, Colonel and I were at Horror Hound a couple of years ago, and we first ran across these Friday the 13th waxwork editions. I bought Final Chapter, my favorite film. His was Part 5. Lo and behold, the guy had both. And we looked at them, and then we walked around the con and went right back and bought both of them. We couldn't wait. This edition came with a T-shirt, a cassette tape of the actual soundtrack, and the vinyl of one of my all-time favorites.
Wow.
That's a beautiful shirt.
Dude.
Yeah.
Great design. TerrorVision Records. If you're interested, I don't know if you can still get them. There was like a numbered amount, but they're a real small company, but they're hands-on, man. If you reach out to them, they get right back to you. And I'd say that's a movie you want and need to have on vinyl. Even though that soundtrack is fucking whacked, I didn't care, man. I had to have it. It's got to be in the collection. It's like, whoa. I hope somebody finds that years down the road after I'm gone and plays it and goes, because that soundtrack is goofy. But still, should be very collectible.
Yes, I really enjoyed the Friday the 13th box set, but a couple other things that I've really enjoyed getting and gathering over this last year are the board games that are coming out now. Friday the 13th had a board game that is just beautiful. And then, man, I tell you what, The Shining. They released a board game based on The Shining. Now, I never hang out with people to play these games, so they just sit on my shelves. But they look good. One day I'll play them. I don't know when. It may be 10, 15 years down the road, but I'll play them eventually. But they're collectibles right now because they just sit on my shelf. But yeah, those are the two I really enjoyed. All right, finally, for Stories Around the Campfire, we got to talk about conventions. We got to talk about our favorites. And it's pretty easy to rank our favorites from this year because I think Ziggy went to one. And I actually went to 2. But, well, there was the Monsters of Horror in March in Tulsa. And then there was the OKC HorrorCon in July or August, I think. Ziggy, what was the one you enjoyed this year?
I was at Astronomicon 3. You know, it's a little bit, theirs is more pop culture, horror, right, and a whole lot ICP kind of crowd. What they had in horror was good, but as someone who's, wants to be immersed in horror all the way around, it was a little small on the horror, I thought. But it was cool. I was glad to go. Got a really cool interview with Nathan Basil, available on the site. Check it out. They wouldn't let us tape the panels. It was a little bit of a flap on that. They wanted it to do it themselves. and then have you tag them on your shit. You know, I was like, no thanks, we just won't run them.
That was the one that did the live streaming of the panels, wasn't it? They were
correct, and it was all like, you know, the one that was all yeah, that one.
So Astronomicon, how'd that work out for you?
They were nice about it, at least, you know. But you know, yeah, I unless they have something spectacular there that I need horror-wise, someone to talk to, then I probably wouldn't go.
Like I said, the only one I went to, or one of the only ones I went to, both were local in Oklahoma. I did no traveling to Horror Hound or Crypticon this year because there wasn't a Horror Hound or a Crypticon this year, which sucks. Cannot wait to get back to Indianapolis, or especially get to Cincinnati, because I'm guaranteed some quality chili when I get there.
Chili by name. It's not the chili you think. It's Cincinnati style chili. More of a meat sauce, but still
delicious.
Okay. Whatever you say, Colonel.
When you come to Cincinnati, we're not even going to get chili, goddammit. We're going to get La Rosa's Pizza. We're going to go sit down at La Rosa's Pizza, and we're going to eat this pizza in front of Zach. He's not going to have any of it. Fuck him.
That was good shit, though. I give him credit, man, for
wheel him in there like Hannibal Lecter and just make him watch us, like him just sit there. No, but the OKC HorrorCon, let me talk a little bit about that, because it was my favorite of the year by far, obviously, because it was one of only two I went to. But, dude, I tell you what, these guys are only in their second year and impressing the shit out of me with the style and the range of the con that they're trying to do. Now, next year has me a little curious as to what exactly how they're gonna pull this off, because I think the con is going to be outdoors, a majority of it. I'm not quite sure how they're going to pull that off. Some of this stuff blows away. I mean, this is Oklahoma, guys. I mean, there's wind sweeping down the fucking plains. It's part of our song. Yeah, there's stuff that can blow away. I don't know. Are you going to do panels in certain tents? How are you going to limit the access? I mean, there's a lot that's going to go into it. I have faith that they'll figure it out, but I cannot wait for OKC HorrorCon in 2021. And I'm hoping to get at least one of you motherfuckers to join me down here. I think Ziggy's on board, but
we'll see.
Yeah, I got warrants in Oklahoma, man.
Oh, now the truth comes out. I knew it. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for Stories Around the Campfire and the show. Let's wrap this bitch up. Colonel, send them out tonight.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. You know where we're at. We're on the YouTube. Leave it at that. But we're also available every Monday on Facebook Live for Monday Maniacs. We put out to a vote. You guys spoke. We listened. Next Monday for our top 5 vampire films. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, my God.
That's it. That's it. You're fired.
There had to
You're
be
fired.
one dad joke besides the New Balance thing. Huh?
That's it.
All right. Ziggy, tell him stuff.
Well, as Colonel started to say, we are out there on the interwebs, and you can check us out, deathcursesociety.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the good stuff. But the big one, man, is YouTube. Subscribe, notification bell. Just do it, and then you can forget about it. But it's cool. It'll all be there. You'll be like, oh, yeah, that's right. And then you can watch the shit. You'll see it first, and you're in, man. And then your DCS. All right? Cool.
And finally, if you guys want to support the show, we would appreciate that as well. Right now, we have 2 options of t-shirts. We have the original logo tee, Death Curse Society. And then we also have our special edition Loomis Death Has Come to Your Little Town t-shirt. Both are available for $20 for sizes small through extra large. 2X to 5X are $25. And that includes free shipping. If you are interested in one of the shirts, send your payment and information to paypal.me/zigzagisDCS, and we'll get that shipped out to you ASA motherfucking P. Our next episode is going to be January 14th, our first of the year, 2021, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about our most anticipated releases, film, TV, anything, conventions especially, that's coming out in 2021. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tune in and let us know what you think as well. For Zigzag, for the Colonel, That's going to wrap it up for us. I'm Redcranke saying DCS out. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Woo! Glasses. Is he froze?
No, he's just being a dick.
No, I see a blur. I think he's froze. Because it almost looks like he was looking at a, oh, great. It says it's disconnecting. He had that look on his face. Oh, look, unstable connect.
Son of a bitch.
I could see a little bit of motion blur with his finger. That was the only giveaway that I could tell he wasn't being a dick.